Guys, so yeah, another day in isolation, self-isolation I might add. The last 24 hours has been kind of difficult for me. I hope you guys have been okay. My partner is in the hospital. She's being tested right now for the virus, and which is stupid because she hasn't got it. We've been holed up inside this apartment for the last bloody 3 weeks, you know. We've been very, very careful, so there's no way she's got anything. However, she did show symptoms, but those symptoms she's been having for the last year. She's had a cough, and she had a slight temperature. I think the cutoff margin was 37.5, and she had a temperature of 37.8, which is ridiculous. 3/10, and they said, "Oh well, we're going to have to test her." So they've kept her in the hospital now, and we should be getting the results back actually in about an hour. So I'll let you guys know. I'm pretty confident she hasn't got it though. Stupid. And if she's got it, I've certainly got it as well. Nice. So anyway, I wanted to speak to you guys about some things that have come up since I last spoke to you. So I'm just going to run through a few things about the virus again. Sorry again. But yeah, so one thing I've seen on Instagram and social media are these sort of like, I don't know whether they're shamans. You have shamans, charlatans, I don't know. You got a lot of these guys that are proclaiming to have a cure for COVID-19. I was watching a video the other day actually with this guy in America saying that he sort of puts this ginger and lemon and something else inside a pot, turmeric I think it was, and then he put it inside a pot and boiled it the water, and he sort of steamed his you know when you put the towel over the pot and you allow the steam to come out, and he inhales the steam, and it somehow cured it. But I think this is really bad for him to say things like this, because there are people out there that will actually believe him, and that's not good. It's not good. First of all, COVID-19 is a virus. Now, what do we know about viruses? We know that they're incurable, right? So if you look at the viruses that we know, have general knowledge about, we have decent, good general knowledge about herpes, right? Herpes simplex A and B, HIV, influenza, the flu, you know. All those viruses, there are no cures for them, okay? So we can take drugs to suppress the symptoms of these viruses, but in general, no. You can't. Once you have these viruses, they're in your body, they're there for life. They can lie dormant, depending on the virus. Some of them can lay dormant for years in your body without you even knowing about it. But it's in there. And COVID-19 is the same. Once it's inside your body, you have it for life. Vaccines is a different story. So you can have a vaccine for certain viruses that do work, and I think they work by injecting you with a small amount of that virus. Believe it or not. So once it's inside your body learns how, the immune system learns how to adapt it and how to work with it and how to expel it or destroy it before it is able to spread. So your body is the machine that actually does the work. But no, there is no actual cure for those viruses, especially HIV, as we all know. There are drugs that can suppress the symptoms, but there is no cure. And COVID's the same, okay? So that's just simple. Everyone should know that one. So be careful with what you listen to on social media. Um, Another question I was asked by Ibrahim actually a couple of days ago was what were my thoughts on the 5G network and how it sort of links to COVID. And I can understand that some people are actually trying to make the link. I didn't make the link myself, but you know, you got COVID, the outbreak that happened in China happened around the same time that the 5G network was put online. And people were like, well, wait a minute, this can't be a coincidence. And so I did some digging and I thought, well, this 5G network is a different kettle of fish. You remember when we had 3G, and this was special because we could use instant messaging and so forth, and it was really good. Well, 4G was a massive step up, right, from 3G. We could do things like upload videos and so forth with 4G very easily. Well, forget that. 5G is a completely different kettle of fish. With 5G, the 1% that we know who own industry, they will save a lot of money with 5G because they'll be able to take out a lot of, while using AI, they'll be able to take out a lot of the human factor out of their manufacturing and industry. So you can imagine these huge trains, these huge cargo trains going from California to New York, they won't need a driver, they won't need 3 drivers, you know, they won't need an engineer. They won't need an engineer to work on the train because the train can fix itself. That sort of stuff. And that is not me talking about, that's not in fairyland, that's stuff that's going to happen. All that stuff will happen. Autonomous cars, autonomous taxis. Once you get rid of the humans, it does 2 things for them. So one, they save a lot of money on insurance because computers don't make mistakes, right? They save a lot of money because they don't have to employ a human, you know. So it makes perfect sense, and this 5G will make all that possible. So the way I see it is, you're not going to be able to stop 5G. It's going to happen, regardless of whether you like it or not, especially in the States, especially in the industrialized world. You're not going to be able to get rid of it. The only thing I could say is, if you think that 5G is suppressing your immune system and you think it's making you more susceptible to these viruses, then I would strongly urge you to move to a country where there is no 5G. And there are countries that don't have 5G. Israel, everybody's talking about Israel not having 5G. They will have it one day. They won't go without it. So I think if you want to protect yourself, that would be the best thing to do. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it's one of those things. Another thing I was asked about was the stimulus package. I think the stimulus package that's happening, especially in the United States, wow, you guys, the taxpayers, you're footing one hell of a large bill, 1.8 trillion. That's not going to be a bill that's going to be for you. That's going to be a bill for your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren. You will never pay that off, and that is really sad. It's sad that these huge corporations are getting that sort of a bailout when the normal taxpayer won't. It's all about keeping big business alive and keeping their profits coming in and keeping their big payments and their bonuses coming in, whilst we suffer. Man, I don't think industry should get, especially airlines. I mean, airlines, I love flying. I love these airlines. You know that. I fly everywhere. It's the lifeblood of my work. But in this case, you know, they should take out a loan from somewhere else. Take out a loan from a bank. We're not a bank. The government is not a fucking bank, right? We are not a bank. You can't just dip into our pockets and to serve the best interest of Richard Branson so he can keep his billions. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. But anyway, feel free to write your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my tea and enjoy the rest of my day. I hope you do too. Have a good one.